Park. It's the final stages of the warm-up. There is still a few seats to be had on the Rod Laver Arena. The roof is open. There is daylight outside. The floodlights are on, which means the stage is set. The players are about ready. Cannot wait for this final to unfold. Are we going to have a new champion, a new name on the trophy? Or will Aryna Sabalenka reign supreme once again here at the Australian Open?
Good serve. Forehand deep from Rybakina. Forehand cross-court from Rybakina. Sabalenka cross-court. Rybakina with a very edgy forehand that is long. Aryna Sabalenka is a Grand Slam champion.
I hope next year I come back stronger and I'll show you even better tennis and you guys support me even more.
Serves out wide. There it is. Game, set, match for the defending champion.
Worst case, you're gonna lose it next year. Nothing to defend.
Backhand flat out cross-court and the reflex volley into the body and out of the body from Sabalenka. Wins at the point.
Backhand return by Zheng. And she's done it! Celebration from Zheng Qinwen, who looks like a new star of the sport.
My dream is not just a final. I'm almost there, but I know this little distance still far away.
Listen to the crowd, they're loving this from Zheng Qinwen.
She's a really nice girl and playing really great tennis once again, and it's going to be a great battle.
She goes down the tee, she's done it! And now the brilliant smile of Zheng Qinwen, the 12th seed, who has made it through to her first Grand Slam final. They have met once before at last year's US Open. It was the quarter-final stage. Sabalenka came through for the loss of just 5 games. Zheng Qinwen in her first Grand Slam final. She is just 21 years of age, and she hadn't played in a Grand Slam before 2022 against the defending champion, the world #2, Aryna Sabalenka. The players are about set. It'll be Aryna Sabalenka to serve, and you're going to be enjoying this match in the company of Pat Cash, former Australian Open semi-finalist, world #5, a mixed doubles champion who's just arrived in the box, Daniela Hantakova, and correspondent Russell Fuller.
Thank you again, Gigi. And good morning to you all as we enjoy the first Grand Slam singles final of the year. Zheng Qinwen, the 12th seed, the world #15, against the defending champion and world #2, Aryna Sabalenka. Play. And it will be Sabalenka with her specially made red dress who serves first towards the commentary box end here on the Rod Laver Arena. And it's a forehand return down the line from Zheng. Cross-court with the backhand goes Sabalenka, and that has beaten Zheng, who gets an early workout, getting those legs pumping as she moves along the baseline, but a very solid start from both players, because that was a decent service return and a nice put away from the champion.
Yeah, it was. She used that very well against Goff, the wide serve to the forehand, more inconsistent side, and opened up the backhand side. She did it well, and she started off using it well.
And a service winner now from Sabalenka to move very swiftly to 30 love. She is the first player since Serena Williams to reach back-to-back finals at the Australian Open, 2016 and 2017. Can she be the first since her compatriot Victoria Azarenka to defend the Women's Australian Open title? She did that in 2013. An ace this time from Sabalenka, not even a little bit of racket on ball there by Zheng Qinwen. And these are 3 game points. Very little time on court. Sabalenka, 6 hours and 55 minutes, yet to drop a set, and has been in dominant form. It's been a lot harder for Zheng Qinwen, despite her easier draw. 11 hours and 34 minutes on court, not a ludicrous amount of time, and 3 matches have gone the distance. Can Sabalenka close out the game? The backhand from Sabalenka is very deep. Zheng with a nice forehand reply. The forehand from Zheng is over the baseline, and Sabalenka is held to love. So let's get a first word from Daniela Hantakova. Welcome back to the 5 Live commentary box here on BBC Sounds. Danny, what do you think? How do you think this match is going to play out?
Oh, I think the beginning of the match for the Chinese superstar is huge, because Sabalenka has been on this occasion so many times before, so even if things don't go well according to her plan, she's not going to panic. Where for Zheng, if she can't catch Sabalenka earlier on, especially in this first set, I feel like those nerves that are understandably so there in this match for her will become even bigger. If she can stay toe-to-toe with Sabalenka, she has a chance. But yeah, let's see, especially the first, I would say, 2 service game of Zheng.
And if you've not played a top 50 player to get to the final, is it a bit of a shock to the system to come up against somebody like Sabalenka?
I would think so. So, let's see how Danielle is spot on. Let's see how she settles. But, she is full of confidence. A couple of good winners, and she'll settle nicely. But, yeah, first couple of games are going to be interesting. She can also throw in some double faults as well.
Here's her chance to serve for the first time in a Grand Slam final. Gets the first serve in, but mishits the forehand. And the first 5 points of the final have gone to Aryna Sabalenka.
That was that forehand.
Yeah, and that is going to be the obvious tactic for Sabalenka. Even though the heaviest one on the tour for the moment is by Zheng, Sabalenka will attacking that side all day long.
Another good first serve, and she's on the board in the final now. The 21-year-old serving to the backhand of Sabalenka, who can't make a clean return.
Great serve, right into the backhand corner.
Thank you.
Well, some very early excitement from a group of Chinese fans, I assume. Backhand reply by Sabalenka. Zheng cross-court with the forehand. Sabalenka goes back to that forehand again. Zheng wide once more as she tries to push that one down the line. Well,
Chinese fans, can you?
This could be a long night.
Very excited.
It could be a little bit draining for the players if we're going to get that after every single point. Not to mention the commentators.
Well, the person next to it.
Yes. Who has the worst seat in the house? Forehand from Sabalenka, backhand into the net from Zheng, and these are 2 early break points to the defending champion.
And I don't think it's really nerve with Zheng to do with the fact she's 2 break points down here, but it's the pace of Sabalenka racket that she's struggling with right now, big time.
2 break points then for Sabalenka to move 2-love up in the final here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds this morning, as our weekend of FA Cup 4th round action continues. Zheng facing the first of the 2 break points. Backhand return Sabalenka, and Zheng has made a mess of the backhand. She seems a little bit, well, half a pace.
Sabalenka leads 2 games to love.
Half a step short is what I'm trying to say. She doesn't seem to be particularly dynamic or moving particularly well at the back of the court to me.
It's just another level of speed that she probably hasn't come across yet in this tournament. She might take a little while to get used to that, but she will. But yeah, as Daniela said, they were heavy, powerful shots. It just beat her with pace 3 times in that game, or 4 times in that game.
Sabalenka then leading by 2 games to love, missing the first serve. The highest ranked opponent that Qinwen has beaten so far is actually Britain's Katie Boulter, the world number 54. Sabalenka just waiting for a couple of people who are walking slowly down the stairs to take their seats in the front row. I think where Pat and your partner were sitting the other night, not too far away from there. Oh, you were the other side, were you?
In the president's box, mate.
Oh,
that's not
sorry.
the president's box. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Russell, you need to get your seating order.
I've disrespected him, haven't I? This is a good return by Zheng in that it's an effective one. The volley from Sabalenka and the passing winner from Zheng. She's just about managed to get enough forehand to the ball there, and she's found a winner.
Can't believe you put a 2-time Australian Open finalist in just a normal seat.
Albeit a very nice seat.
A very nice seat.
Good seats, but you're right. There's equivalent. There's the equivalent on the other side.
Yes, precisely.
Close enough.
Love 15 down, Sabalenka. Serving to the forehand, it's blocked back in play by Zheng, and Sabalenka has missed the forehand.
Love 13.
Zheng was the WTA newcomer of the year in 2022. She was the WTA's most improved player in 2023. And the top award is Player of the Year, so that is what she's perhaps aiming for here in 2024. But that gives you a sign of the improvement she's made over the last couple of years, still just 21. She's got a second serve to look at here. Sabalenka at love 30. Backhand reply from Zheng. Backhand cross-court long by Sabalenka.
Love 14.
But Russell, the biggest award I would give to her is being probably one of the nicest persons on the tour. She's so down to earth, given the status she's got in China. It's really cool to see that she also, not only as a player, wants to improve as a person as well.
Thank you.
3 break points. Her coach, Pere Ribas, says she is, he said, the most hard-working player he's ever been associated with. Forehand from Sabalenka, she's triple break point down. Backhand from Sabalenka to the forehand of Zheng. Zheng hits to the back of the court. Now Zheng with a forehand with Samer over the baseline.
15-14.
I don't think we should be expecting too many long rallies in this match. Zheng is, a semi-final match. I watched that pretty closely. I think there was 1 rally, maybe over 6 shots. That was about it. Maybe 8. We got to 8, so 4 each.
Second chance to break back for Zheng. Her forehand is deep, and Sabalenka hits the forehand with air to the very back of the court. Forehand Sabalenka as Zheng drops a little bit short, and now the Chinese players netting with a forehand.
13-14.
Just the 1 break point remaining for the Chinese challenger. Pere Riba was saying that when they started working together after the US Open last year, for the second time, having briefly had a spell together before, he'd suggested starting training at 7 o'clock in the morning, and actually had to have a few crosswords with her as she continued to want to do very, very long training sessions, 4 hours, 5 hours, day after day after day. And he was saying, look, I don't think this is good for you. You can have too much of a good thing. Third break point for Zheng, who's already a breakdown in this final on 5 Live. Backhand return from Zheng. Sabalenka cross-court with the forehand. Sabalenka's got a mid-court ball, and she smashes that away for a backhand winner.
And again, Zheng just dropping that forehand a little bit short because of that constant heaviness from Sabalenka racket. And they both have amazing forehands, but the difference is with Zheng, she normally is not falling forward on her forehand, where Sabalenka puts all her weight behind her shots, and that makes the difference so far in this match.
Three break points saved by Sabalenka, who goes down the tee but misses. The ball girl retreats to the back of the court, and this is Sabalenka serving a second serve to Zheng in a green and yellow skirt and top at the far end of the court. We are court level here on the Rod Laver Arena. This is very heavy hitting from Sabalenka again, and Zheng nets with the backhand. Sabalenka completely dominant in that rally.
Advantage, Sabalenka.
Powerful hitting. Yeah, really opened up the court. Went to the backhand of Zheng a couple of times. Out to the forehand, and then down the line to the approach shot. It's a good approach shot. Zheng almost snuck it back over the net.
Sabalenka from love 40 down now has a game point for 3-love in the first set of this final. And that was long, and the backhand from Zheng just caught the side of the umpire Jaume Campistol's chair. Second serve for Sabalenka to try and close out the game and move 3-love in front. Backhand reply cross-court from Zheng. Forehand Zheng into the net. Sabalenka saves 3 break points, Gigi, and she's won the first 3 games of the final.
Well, there's been such good, big, powerful hitting from Aryna Sabalenka. It is coming up to 8 o'clock in the evening here in Melbourne. Aryna Sabalenka looking to defend her Australian Open title, and that's something she's been asked about. How is she approaching? How has she approached this defense?
Not like I'm ignoring the pressure. I'm just shifting my focus, and it's working well so far, and it's 1 more to go, and I'll do my best. Ready to fight and not going crazy, because when you play first final, you kind of like get emotional and like you rush in things sometimes, and when you like in the third time in the finals, you're like, okay, it's a final, it's okay, but it's just another match, and you're able to separate yourself from that thing and just focus on your game. That's it, actually.
Well, she's been able to separate herself very nicely because she's taken the first 3 games. So you are with the 5 Live tennis team at Melbourne Park. Just to mark your card that Mark Chapman's going to be here from midday with the FA Cup 4th round weekend. 12:30 Ipswich against Maidstone. That's also live on BBC TV and the iPlayer. 3 o'clock you've got Everton Luton on Sports Extra. Also at 3 you've got Sheffield United Brighton. 5 p.m. Sports Report and 7 p.m. Fulham Newcastle. And if I did that a little bit too quickly, don't worry, we'll keep marking your card about what's to come throughout the day.
3-love, Aryna Sabalenka leads, and this is Zheng Qinwen just catching the ball as she prepares to serve. Little bit of breeze, but not a big issue for the players today. It's been another fairly cool Melbourne day. Forehand down the line, a winner from Zheng, with Sabalenka rather rooted to the spot after her service return. It's a cloudy evening, but no prospect of any rain, and that's why the roof remains open above the arena. 15-love, Zheng, ace.
30-love.
Down the tee.
And Russell, I think one of the things Zheng has to hope for here, that the conditions, the temperature will drop big time, because that's when things will be slower and she will have more time on that forehand and kind of maybe start working herself into longer rallies, because it's been a little bit inconsistent from her end, but it's understandable.
Second ace. 2 in a row for Zheng.
40-love.
Temperature at the moment, I think about 21, 22 degrees Celsius, and likely to drop by 2 or 3 degrees perhaps over the course of the final. It really depends how long it lasts. 40-love Zheng, another excellent serve, a service winner, and that will make her feel a lot better. She's won her first ever game in a Grand Slam final.
Sabalenka leads 3-1.
Now that's an impressive service game. Big serve, 4 in a row. But, no need to get into any of the rallies or allow Sabalenka to blast any of those shots back to her.
And Pat, I'm loving her attitude. She was 3-love down. If you look at her, you can't really tell the score. That's something she's done so well throughout the tournament.
So Sabalenka's just been given a reminder of how potent this Zheng Qinwen serve can be. A shanked forehand from the Chinese player this time, though,
15-love.
as Sabalenka wins the first point of her latest service game. She's very, very hard to take a set off in Melbourne. Champion last year, at least a finalist this year. She's won 26 of 27 sets in that time. Backhand return, but the serve called long. We have electronic line calling here in Melbourne once again, if you are joining us for the first time and haven't been with us on Tennis Breakfast on 5 Sports Extra for the last couple of weeks. Zheng with a chance there, hands on hips in frustration as she puts a backhand service return into the net.
Big kick serve. Sabalenka didn't have a lot of pace on it, and I think Zheng's thought, okay, here's one to attack, but it really got up.
Sabalenka at 30-love again. Zheng just can't time these serves
40-love.
as she wants to. These returns are just not coming off the middle of the racket. And 3 game points to Sabalenka to move 4-1 in front in this first set. Chipped back by Zheng. Forehand Sabalenka down the line. Zheng with the squash shot forehand, which is left by Sabalenka. It virtually flies over her left shoulder, and 2 very rapid games indeed. Just 16 minutes on the clock, and Sabalenka leads Zheng Qinwen of China by 4-1. Per Rieber in the Zheng Qinwen camp is an interesting figure, given that he was with Coco Gauff when she beat Aryna Sabalenka to win the US Open title. He left shortly after that, which was quite a surprise to everybody. He said it was for personal reasons, and I understand it was down to his mother's ill health, but he's back in the coaching game and is now working for the second time with Zheng Qinwen. Do either of you know him particularly well?
No, I don't particularly know him that very well, but I was coaching a fellow Chinese player for a couple of years, so we saw this young girl come on the tour, and she worked really hard. I mean, she was the first out in the practice court and the last one that left, and it's funny how I don't know how the Chinese players go, but I asked my player, Zheng, I said, do you know her? She said, no, I don't know her. I said, well, have you met her? I said, no, she never said hello to me. And I said, well, do you guys talk? She said, no, none of the Chinese girls talk to each other, really. It's only a couple here and there.
It's a big country.
Really? Yeah, it's a big...
But it's a small locker room.
Yeah, but you'd think there'd be, I don't know, some camaraderie of some form.
Yeah.
Well, you know, hi, how's it going, you know? Welcome to the tour. I don't know, whatever, but it's cutthroat, really cutthroat.
1-4, Zheng is serving, wins the first point as Sabalenka hits a backhand service return into the net.
Talking about the workload and what Riba was referring to, that he doesn't think it's necessary to do how much training she's done. I think that's been the case with all the Chinese players. I did go to China actually to work with Carlos Rodriguez, who worked with both Lina and Zheng as well, and the amount of hours you put on the court, yeah, they are great, I think, when you're junior, when you're coming up, and you need the volume, but later on, just have to be careful how much energy and time you're spending on the court.
Yeah, it's an interesting experience in my tennis academy with 3 Chinese players, 3 coaches came down. They just worked them way too hard.
A big forehand return from Sabalenka, latching onto that rather innocuous second serve.
Well, it's good play from Sabalenka because obviously she didn't get a chance to hit a second serve in the last amazing service game. Zheng, this time, really the first time she's had a short second serve, and she's just sent a signal. Okay, if you miss the first serve, you're in big trouble.
15-all, she has done exactly that. Zheng Qinwen, who first took up table tennis before moving on to tennis. She says her parents encouraged her to do as much sport as she could from an early age. Backhand from Zheng, the forehand from Sabalenka is too long. She said that she was actually
30-15.
quite fat as a small child, that was the word that she used, and was quite prone to infections, and sport, I think from the age of like 4 or 5, really did help her turn the corner. 30-15 she has. Just the one break of serve down in this first set, trailing by 4 games to 1, and a very good serve. A high, harmless backhand return by Sabalenka is long.
She's serving well. 69% of first serves in. That's a good percentage. And they've been pretty accurate too, haven't they?
Ace. The ace count is improving. That's the 3rd of this match.
Sabalenka leads.
And she's now looking after her serve with some ease. Zheng Qinwen. The one potentially fatal loss of her serve came in the second game of this first set. It's Sabalenka who leads 4-2. Lots of great Aussie tennis names in the house tonight, not just Pat Cash, the Wimbledon champion of 1987 and 2 times a runner-up at the Australian Open. Margaret Court is here. Forehand wide from Zheng as Sabalenka hits a good first serve. Yvonne Goolagong-Cawley, who brought the Daphne Ackhurst Memorial Cup into the Rod Laver Arena at the start of our programme. 4 times a champion here. It's 50 years since she won the first of her Australian Open titles. Judy Dalton is here as well. And according to my list, Wendy Turnbull instead of Wendy Turnbull. So perhaps changing her name to suit her sport.
Turnbull?
Turnbull.
There's always Wendy Turnbull. Turnbull?
Turnbull. It was an error, a typo. Good return there from Zheng Qinwen, and Sabalenka is not able to time the forehand from the baseline, and she's put it into the net. So by extension, you should be Pat Smash, I suppose.
There you go. Yeah, good confident return from Zheng. Really fast back to Sabalenka, who barely followed through after a serve.
Yeah, if she can, she has to try to do that with every single second serve return. Try to find the depth.
4-2, 15-all. Sabalenka with a little bit to think about here. Zheng just missing that forehand down the line, though. A chance to put some pressure on the defending champion.
Yeah, still struggling to get used to that pace of Sabalenka shots. But once she gets into it and finds a rhythm, Might take her a little bit more time, but the second set can be very interesting if we are getting ahead of ourselves.
Second serve for Sabalenka. 4-2, 30-15, 5 Live, BBC Sounds. The penultimate day of the Australian Open, live from the Rod Laver Arena. Backhand return from Zheng. Sabalenka cross-court with the backhand, but the depth again was admirable. And the long backhand
14,
by
15.
Zheng.
Wow, well, that's a huge backhand, full swing. She's a powerful, strong, athletic player. And when she gets hold of that shot, that backhand, there's just nothing she could do about that one. That was absolute bullet to the baseline.
2 game points for Sabalenka. Backhand from Zheng is right to the back of the court in front of us. They're no more than 12 metres in front of us, the player at this end of the court, who's currently Aryna Sabalenka. Forehand cross-court, that's brutal hitting from Sabalenka. What a statement that was, as she makes sure she looks after her serve again and leads this first set by 5 games to 2.
And what is
Sabalenka
incredible,
leads 5 games to 2.
that she gets away with having such a big backswing on
swings.
both ends. But because she's so powerful, she just kind of muscles through no matter how fast the ball comes at her. It's fascinating, really.
Yeah, it looks like these shots are going to go hit the back fence, aren't they? Hurt somebody in the crowd. But yeah, her swings are big, but as you said, she's such a powerful athlete. She's able to swing that racket around lightning speed.
I would say Sabalenka is one of the main reasons why I actually started to think about my retirement when I was next to her in the gym, and kind of I always thought I can lift well, even though I don't look like it. That was one of my strengths, and then what she was doing next to me, I'm like, okay, Danny, golf it is. So yeah, I think she's naturally a very strong athlete, but she's not afraid of the hard work either.
Yes,
But you've already won a title in Melbourne this year. You are officially, along with Lina, I believe, the Legends doubles champions. Congratulations.
Yes. Yeah, it was really cool to have Lina here for her 10th year anniversary, really, since she won here, and what a follow-up to have now her fellow countrywoman in another finals. Let's not forget to mention Gigi as my official coach. Never lost a match.
Well, last time we heard from you on that subject, I think you sacked her live on air. But
I know I didn't discuss win bonus. Well, Pat, after the first match, I was fired.
Who is your manager?
No, I was fired after the first match, Pat.
Oh, okay.
She fired me.
She did not show up to the matches.
2-5 down. Zheng is serving to stay in this first set. Sabalenka swinging a forehand cross-court. That's fantastic hitting. Absolutely breathtaking. Right into the junction of sideline and baseline. And she's 3 points away from taking the first set.
I feel like we're opening old wounds here.
Ooh.
So you're back on board for Roland Garros, is that the plan?
Hey, clay was not my favorite surface. If you want to keep the winning record.
I think I'm going to quit while I have a winning record. Play 2-1-2.
Backhand reply from Sabalenka. Zheng with the forehand down the centre. It's long. And this is constant pressure now from Sabalenka, who looks to have had enough of this first set.
Yeah, with the new balls, everything seems to be even faster. So to control, especially the first shot after return, when Sabalenka returns like this, not much Zheng can do.
2-5. Love 30. Zheng serves into the net. Second serve, Sabalenka's backhand, straight back at the forehand of Zheng, which is over the baseline. And these are now 3 set points for the defending champion, who has not dropped a set at the Australian Open since Elena Rybakina took one off her in the final here 12 months ago. Set point number 1. Zheng serves into the net. (2-5), love 40. Set point Sabalenka, ace by Zheng. Second serve ace.
15,
and her 4th in total in this opening set of the final here on 5 Live.
It certainly looked out. And she's saying that, Sabalenka's saying that was out by a while away, but it must have just touched the back edge.
Sabalenka looking up at our umpire, Jaume Campistol. She has a second set point. Zheng, though, hits a forehand winner down the line.
Well, it's the best forehand of the day for her. It's a good solid return across court to her forehand at decent speed, and she's redirected it down the line with power and control. Bit of top spin to get over the net.
Third set point to Sabalenka, and it's saved by an ace from Zheng. Well, she's showing a lot of fight at times, even though she's been outplayed in this first set by the champion.
Yeah, the attitude of Zheng's been exceptional. It's not easy to be in your first final, 5-2 down, but not showing any signs of frustration.
28 minutes played. Zheng this time misses the first serve as she aims down the tee, down the centre of this blue Rod Laver Aryna court. Second serve to the backhand of Sabalenka. Went after it and netted.
And Pat, let's just quickly talk about the tossing motion, because we have Zheng now really close to us. It's remarkable how she kind of stops on the way, both with her swing and the toss.
Yeah, I think it's the backswing with the racket. She tries to take it back, a bit like a golfer, trying to take it back in a correct line, and then has a little hitch in it.
But she gets away with it, because by the time she hits the ball, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
As they say, it doesn't matter how you get there.
As long as you get there, yeah.
Zheng's advantage, but she serves the double fault, which is her first of this Australian Open final. News from earlier today. Defeat for Alfie Hewitt in the wheelchair singles final to 17-year-old Takita Oda of Japan. And Dida de Groot of the Netherlands won her 13th consecutive Grand Slam singles title in the women's event, as Zheng treats us to another ace and her 21st Grand Slam title in total, equaling the record of the great Esther Feguier. Zheng has saved 3 set points. She now has the advantage to keep the set alive. And that will do nicely. Excellent serve. Floaty backhand hit by Sabalenka over the baseline.
Sabalenka leads 5 games to 3.
Zheng showing great heart to save the 3 set points and keep this first set alive.
And it's a huge message going into the second set, that she gets this hold here, because she's sending a message across the net to Sabalenka. You know, things are not going to be as smooth as you're hoping for. So that was a big hold.
Oh, fantastic hole, wasn't
Thank
it?
you,
Like
ladies and
43
gentlemen.
set points down. She's brave. She keeps going for the lines.
Players are ready, thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, somebody coming down with their drinks.
She has a whole tray of drinks, that
Front
lady.
row.
You can't rush these things, Pat, otherwise you're going to end up with beer all over your shoes. 5-3 Sabalenka. Good serve. Forehand into the net, Zheng.
15 love.
I think Zheng has to start moving to the forehand side in the due side, because most of first serves starting the game, Sabalenka is going out wide.
Hey, maybe just stand across 6 inches, 15 centimetres or so.
The effort of Sabalenka putting her first serve into the net there. Second serve. Kick serves the backhand of Zheng. Zheng's forehand. Sabalenka cross-court with the forehand. Zheng cross-court with the forehand into the corner. And Sabalenka wide under pressure. Just misses as she goes down the line with a forehand.
15 all.
Yeah, it felt like in that rally, Zheng didn't look as rushed anymore. Slowly but surely, she's getting used to the pace of Sabalenka, which is great news for the Chinese fans.
5-3, 15 all. Sabalenka playing in her 3rd consecutive hard-court Grand Slam final, having been the runner-up to Coco Gauff in New York in September. Finds an excellent first serve, and the Zheng forehand return is long.
30-15.
Yeah, there you go. Danielle again, just serving it out to the forehand, the weaker side, pull the opponent out of court. Clear tactics.
Sabalenka 2 points away from the first set of the final. Forehand return not convincing by Zheng, but she's still in this rally. Sabalenka cross-court with a forehand. Zheng's forehand onto the backhand of Sabalenka. Now Zheng onto the baseline and has hit the winner. Onto the sideline.
40-15.
No, it was just wide. It was just wide. I was unsure. I think the crowd thought it was good. You hear a shout, and you're never quite sure whether it was the line call or somebody in the crowd, or even one of the players celebrating. 2 set points, Sabalenka. 2 more set points, having had 3 on the Zheng serve in the last game. So this is set point number 4 in total. 5-3, 40-15. She's missed her first serve. Second serve, set point to the defending champion. Forehand return from Zheng, cross-court. Brilliantly dug out by Sabalenka. And Zheng now with a forehand winner. Once again prolongs the set. 4 set points saved now.
13.
Yeah, starting to be much more settled into this match. Zheng now, look at that second serve return. Wow, she really went after it.
And a great follow-up too, isn't it? Because Sabalenka did well, get it back high and deep, and she hit the clean winner from a good 5-6 feet behind the baseline.
5th set point, Sabalenka on her serve. It's a fine serve. It's a high backhand return from Zheng,
Again, in first set, Sabalenka.
which comes to land several feet behind the baseline. And Zheng Qinwen, after being rather blown away by Aryna Sabalenka in the first 3 games, has just shown her opponent what she's capable of. She's certainly made the second half of that set competitive, but Gigi, the champion, has the first set by 6-3, and she tries to do what Victoria Azarenka was the last player to do in 2013 and successfully defend the women's singles title at the Australian Open.
You're with the 5 Live tennis team. It's our penultimate day with you this year from Melbourne Park at the Australian Open. The second set and maybe, possibly, a third set to come. But before any of that, with the time now 19 minutes past 9 on a Saturday morning, let's get the news for you here on 5 Live with Joel Mitchell.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thank you. Donald Trump says he'll appeal a court ruling which found he must pay over $83 million for defaming a columnist whilst he was president. Mr. Trump attacked E. Jean Carroll on social media after she accused him of raping her in the 1990s. Mrs. Carroll says the verdict was a huge defeat for every bully. The number of illegal vapes seized at UK ports and airports surged last year. That's according to figures released by the UK Border Force. The government's expected to announce new controls on vapes. Some reports suggest they're considering an outright ban. Efforts are continuing to put out a fire on board a fuel tanker, which was hit by a missile in the Gulf of Aden. No injuries have been reported on the Marlin Luanda. The ship was targeted by the Iran-backed Houthi rebels last night. And politicians in the United States are calling for new laws to criminalise the creation of deep-fake images. It's after explicit faked photos of Taylor Swift were viewed millions of times online.
BBC 5 Live. The FA Cup.
Wow, you will not see a better goal.
This game belongs to all of us.
This really matters.
The FA Cup continues today with 4th round action. At 12, Ipswich versus Maidstone United. At 3, Everton face Luton. And at 7, Newcastle travel to Fulham.
He's absolutely thundered that into the back of the net.
The FA Cup 4th round.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Australian Open 2024.
On 5 Live Sports and BBC Sounds.
With Gigi Salmon.
And Mark Chapman will be with you with FA Cup 4th round weekend from midday. Before that is the tennis here at Wimbledon. Before we get stuck in to the second set with Zheng serving at 15 love. Cricket latest for you. England are 188 for 5 in their second innings of the test match against India in Hyderabad. They lead by 1 run, and there's live text via the BBC Sport website. And there will be a close of play podcast via the test match special feed. But our focus, alongside Dania Hanskova, mixed doubles champion here, single semi-finalist, former world number 5, 2-time finalist, Pat Cash, former Wimbledon champion, in the 5 Live box with us. Start of the second set, Zheng just 21 years of age. It's crazy to think she hadn't played a Grand Slam tournament for 2022. Big things expected of her,
15.
but not from that point, because there is a double fault, and she must, Danny, she must hold serve to set out her stall in the second set.
Yeah, absolutely so, Gigi. And I feel that she looks much more calm now. At the beginning of the match, it was the nerves, playing her first Grand Slam final, the pace of Sabalenka, but I feel like the longer she spends time on the court tonight, the more comfortable she will feel.
Well, she's hoping to spend more time on the court. We've raced through 32 minutes.
They are not wasting time, are they? It seems like she's not using her legs much now on the serve. Yeah, not getting up enough.
30 all.
In a row.
Yeah, slowing the arm a little bit.
Well, the serving really kept her in that set, didn't it?
Yep.
I mean, good serving. She got herself out of love 40 set points, and then in the game before as well, it was...
And I guess that's what happens sometimes, sorry, but that
Yeah.
when you know you need your serve,
Yeah.
you start to put so much stress on it, that's when you start to double fault.
Zheng serves out wide, the forehand cross-court, a beauty of an angle, the forehand cross-court winner off the serve from
13,
Sabalenka.
14.
Absolutely nothing Zheng could have done about that, and she has break point.
Looked like a Daniel Medvedev one from last night. Just sort of slap across court, short, sharp. No chance for Zheng to get to that one. That was unbelievable forehand return.
Ready with the first serve, Zheng serves out wide and misses. She will make her top 10 debut next week. Zheng Qinwen, 7 in the live rankings. She would go up to 6 if she were to win the title. Second serve, Sabalenka inside the baseline, but it's a double fault.
Sabalenka.
That is 3 double faults in her first game of the second set, and an immediate break of serve for the defending champion.
Well, it's pretty actually impressive. She didn't do any double faults in the first set. Well, she did one. Sort of expected her to throw a few of those in, but 3 in one game is a shocker. She won't be happy with that, of course, but especially when, as you said, Daniela, she's been relying on her first serve, has been going so well, and maybe she's just thinking, probably hasn't hit that many second serves.
Take your seats as quickly as
Also,
possible,
I think she needs to change up the variety a little bit, because that unbelievable return of forehand side in the use that Sabalenka hit, she was moving there before Zheng even hit the serve.
Yeah, she basically got a slice serve, doesn't she? That occasionally she can go the other direction.
Sabalenka misses out wide, gets herself set, waits for the ball girl to scurry back to the net with a loose ball. There she goes, down she goes, and Zheng will step up towards the baseline, try and put a little bit of pressure on the second serve of Sabalenka. The second serve goes down the tee. The backhand's in play through the throat of the court. They're playing through the middle of the court at the moment. The forehand cross-court from Sabalenka, cross-court the forehand from Zheng. A low angle ball from Sabalenka, runs around the backhand and nets on the inside-out forehand.
Love 15.
Very expressive, isn't she, Aryna Sabalenka? She'll let you know exactly how she's feeling.
But I think that's what we love about her. What you see is what you really get, and she's been always not afraid to show how she feels. She's been so relaxed ever since she came to Australia. Having all that pressure on her shoulders, defending the title, she's done a fantastic job just letting it go and enjoy herself here.
Love 15,
Less.
serve clips the top of the net, going out wide to the Zheng backhand. A bit of a breeze picks up and blows the yellow skirt of the predominantly green dress that the Chinese player is wearing. The frame of her racket is bronze in colour with a white handle, the deep knee bend, the wide stance, the serve from Sabalenka out wide. The backhand is just the weight of that serve. Can't control it into the centre of the tram lines, and it's 15 all with 41 minutes gone.
Interesting there, Gigi, what you mentioned, the wide stand. Actually, both girls on the return, they really, I don't know what you think. It's really wide, and I don't know if that's correct or not.
The look on Pat's face would tell me it's not.
Yeah.
What do we think?
Particularly Sabalenka, when your legs are too wide, you can't move properly.
Right.
I mean, if you look at the men who the Djokovic and some of these, they might start wide, but they bring it in and they're able to move. But if you're too wide, it's just, I think Sabalenka's more pronounced than Zheng, but that's something that I would certainly be changing.
Maybe it's for the vision point of view, that when you serve and you see Sabalenka, like it feels like, okay, where do I serve? She's going to cover everything. I don't know.
Zheng with a double-handed backhand. It's redirected down the line from Sabalenka, who scampers to the forehand side. She lofts the ball up. Zheng should deal with this, has plenty of time. She goes back to Sabalenka, who lobs up and misses the court. Sabalenka stares towards her box as if blaming them for in some way what happened in that point, and it's 30-all.
Well, the good thing for Zheng is that she's setting some nice forehands now, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's they were all over the place in the first set. As I said, she doesn't like to hit more than a couple of forehands in a row. And at the first point of this game, she hit 3 really nice forehands.
30-all, serve out wide. The forehand is good.
Nope.
No, it's just missed. And she looks up to her box and she shakes her head, but she seems to be very good at just moving on very quickly.
Yeah. Would you be taking a bit of pace off something? She's going hell-bent for leather at some of these big first serves from Sabalenka, and she's not making many. Surely you'd go back and say, OK, I'm just going to make a few in.
Game point, serve out wide, backhand, cross-court, deep, cross-court, back, and then go a bit more air on that from Zheng. Lower over the net from Sabalenka, net found by the Chinese player. That's a hole to 30, but more importantly for Aryna Sabalenka, it consolidates her early break, so she leads in this Australian Open Women's Final by setting a break 2-love.
Yeah, and to your point, Pat, we can just see that Zheng is changing her string tension because she feels like a lot of those forehands she misses are long. But to start with, she, I think, has to accept that Sabalenka wide serve, it's unlike anyone else she has faced so far in the tournament. And how do you adjust to that? Just go smaller with your swing. Try to think you're almost at the net and play the return just with your legs. You don't have time to make that big backswing.
It's almost like a doubles player's return, isn't it?
Yep.
Sort of bunt it back.
Just missing on the cross-court.
15-love.
Service return winner, Sabalenka, looking to find the acute angle.
She's a perfectionist, isn't she? I mean, that was a good serve. And Zheng, Sabalenka did miss it by much. Went for that amazing cross-court forehand again. She's really angry with herself for missing that.
It's like a sumo squat, that wide stance, isn't it? Super wide. Now she'll step forward onto the baseline and try and put a little bit more pressure on Zheng Qinwen's second serve, saying, I'm here, anything short, I am going to destroy it. Backhand cross-court pushes Zheng back, and she nets off the backhand. She looks up to her box, and it's 15-all.
And it's not only the wide stand, but also she stands very straight. So it's a very unusual kind of preparation for the return, because ideally you want to be, I don't know, leaning a little bit with your upper body forwards. I mean, once she hits the shot,
maybe.
Hey,
I had that.
I mean,
theory
it's
too,
working.
Yeah, obviously. I wouldn't change a thing.
Pete Sampras changed everything for me with that.
Short return from Sabalenka, the inside-out forehand 1-2 punch from the Chinese player.
I was saying Pete Sampras changed that theory for me altogether. You know, Sampras, he just almost stood there as if he didn't care, you know, and legs sort of together, stood upright, and just had a perfect upright, nice balance, a little bit of lean move forward. But in my day, it was all that crouching low and getting it down. That's probably why my knees are ruined.
I was going to say, that's why probably the knees are having trouble.
Yes, absolutely. No, absolutely true. It's biomechanically, it's not the right way to go about it, but courts used to bounce lower in my day, generally.
15 to serve down the tee. They play through the middle. Now the angle found off the forehand of Sabalenka, plays double-handed backhand cross-court. It's long from the Belarusian, who will just stare straight ahead as Zheng goes about her business, gathering up the balls at the back of the court.
But it's really interesting how many different styles of receiving the return we've got and we had in the... I mean, Stefan Edberg, all the little steps, I would be tired by the time I hit the return. I mean, German feels, looks like he's not even ready to
That's right, yeah.
play the point.
Super relaxed.
So...
Oh,
hello. The serve went down the tee. Everybody, it's like time froze, and suddenly the ball's back on Zheng's side, and everyone looked down.
I think both players thought the ball was going out and ended up dropping in, and Zheng stopped completely. Sabalenka's return went down the line and for a clean winner, half pace.
Game point to get a game on the board in the second set. Oh, dearie me, that serve missed out wide by a long way. Second serve, Sabalenka comes onto the baseline. Her stance is even wider. She says, here we go. Crunches the forehand inside out. It's down the line from Zheng with the backhand, who takes a hand off the backhand and slices it. The smash from Sabalenka back to Zheng, who puts the lob up. Sabalenka will let this bounce. Watch out, Zheng. Goes down, slams it, down, out the court. Fist pump to her box. Deuce.
One thing they have, in a very similar way, Sabalenka and Serena, when they come forward, I'm always so scared what they're going to do, because it seems like they do not care at all what's happening on the other side of the court. Like, my opponent is there, I'll go in even harder. Like, maybe just look which way. No. They just go for it no matter what.
Juice, angled serve out wide, deep return, goes back behind Sabalenka, clever play. She held it Zheng for a fraction of a second. She saw the commitment of Sabalenka. It opened up the back behind, and she has game point.
Lovely forehand, lots of safety, lots of high top spin. Forehand's actually held up very well in this set so far. And she's a breakdown.
Game point. The net is clipped. So Zheng will turn around and accept another ball, twiddle 2 balls in her hand, then she'll accept a third. She'll examine all 3, discard one, tuck one in the shorts on the left-hand side and shorts under the skirt.
Thank you. Please.
Disturbance in the upper part of the Rod Laver Arena. The security making their way up to the protesters.
And they will be removed in about 3 seconds.
Players,
this isn't helping your cause, buddy.
Players are waiting in their positions, just trying to stay focused in their zone. Sabalenka looking up and having a look.
Just 1 sec, Zheng.
It's just crazy.
And Zheng will just go back through her pre-serve routine again, trying to stay in her zone while security
they're not getting them out in a hurry. These guys they're refusing to leave.
Yep.
They've got them now.
They're removing them from the upper tier of the Rod Laver Arena. A number of security guards.
At the top of the lower tier, so that's cost them a few bucks to get in there in the first place.
Thank you.
It's pretty good seats.
Now they are empty seats. Zheng ready. Remember, this is game point to get her first game on the board of this second set. Love 2. Serve down the tee. Cut back into the net. Was not distracted. Holds serve. Gets a game on the board. But it is Aryna Sabalenka, defending champion. You're on 5 Live, who leads by a set and 2-1 in the Australian Open Women's Final. Just to remind you about what's on its way today, because there's an awful lot of football around this weekend, because it's FA Cup 4th round weekend. Now, later this afternoon, the lowest ranked side in the competition, Maidstone, they face Ipswich. That's at 12:30. Mark Chapman is here from midday. You'll have commentary on 5 Live, also available on BBC One. And then at 3 o'clock, you have the All Premier League meeting, Everton against Luton, and we've got our usual round the grounds goal service. That's followed by Sports Report at 5 o'clock. That will round up absolutely everything for you. We've got 6:06 at 6 p.m. before commentary of Fulham against Newcastle at 7 o'clock. So if you're on a long journey, if you're having a lazy day, then we're going to keep you entertained. They're not forgetting, if I can move you on to tomorrow, we'll be back at the same time for the Australian Open men's singles final. We're going to have a new Australian Open champion, but are we going to have a new Grand Slam champion? Yannick Sinner in his first Grand Slam final up against 2-time finalist here and former US Open champion Daniil Medvedev. But our focus now is on Aryna Sabalenka, serving it 2-1 with the break. With her back to us under the president's box, out wide, Zheng Qinwen spins the forehand backhand, spins that ball mid-court, the backhand from inside the baseline from Sabalenka, double-handed backhand cross-court from Sabalenka, a miss hit of the Chinese player's racket. It lands on the Melbourne sign, and that is the first point of the 4th game.
And I think that miss there, Gigi, from Zheng backhand is because she's not used to hitting too many backhands today. Sabalenka has done such a good job really targeting Chinese #1 forehand side that when you suddenly get a ball to the other direction, you are not used to it, and that's why she missed that one long.
51 minutes on the clock, and a service return winner from Zheng. Leaned into that shot, found the line, down the line, and gets the points. Coaching boxes look nervous. I didn't realise until I was in one that if you're in the coaching box, a little laminated...
What are you referring to?
Before I was fired, a little laminated card comes round with option of snacks that they will bring you in the coaching box.
Is that right?
That is true. Serve out wide misses, and you have a choice of 5 snacks. You choose your snack, and a gentleman undoes his bag, rifles around.
You're just
in it.
making this up.
No,
aren't
I
you?
promise you. And there's a little laminated card with all different banana chips and nuts and crisps, and then they give you your snacks. Serve from Sabalenka down the tee. I didn't take anything though because I was focused on the match. Sabalenka leant backwards, hit the forehand, missed the court, and it's 15-30.
Another thing I didn't even mention to you, this year the coaches had the option to have massages.
Oh, hang on a second.
Yeah, sorry.
You didn't tell me that. Now I'm fired. I can't have a massage.
No, I tell you that the tournament is over. Well, otherwise you wouldn't be doing your work
today?
here.
You played today?
No, today we got the trophies that Gigi was part
played
of.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Gigi, you could have got a massage.
I know, I
this
could have a
afternoon,
massage every day.
Straight after here.
This is disgraceful. 15-30. Short high return should be smashed away, is smashed away for 30 all.
But it sounds like we should consider some coaching opportunities here because
I would
tour
advise you, from my experience, not to go into coaching. It's ruthless, it's scary, and you could be in work 1 minute, you can be out of work the next.
Very true.
30 all. Aryna Sabalenka, defending champion, who's had a very settled team for many years, reaches up and serves out wide. Deep return off the shoeless, almost like a half volley from Sabalenka on the baseline. Steps in the backhand down the other way. Such depth off the racket of the Belarusian to turn 15-30 to gain points.
And there was such a smart backhand up the line. She didn't really go for it as hard as she can. That's one of the biggest differences she's done in the last couple of years.
Absolutely.
She doesn't go anymore from big to bigger. She just stays steady. And that's why she's where she is.
A point for 3-1 in the second set. The breeze is blowing, the roof is open, the skies are darkening.
Led for service.
Sabalenka, the red dress with the yellow trim and the yellow band on the back and the yellow shorts underneath and the red shoes with the white swoosh on them. Brown hair tied back into a messy bun. As she reaches up now into the serve and serves into the body, it's chopped back. It will not find the court. She moves to 3-1. So, Pat Cash, in your role as a coach, if you could have a few words with Zheng now, she's a set and a break down. It's a Grand Slam final. What would they be?
Oh, I'm so glad you didn't ask me, did you? I'm just buying you some more time.
Well, first of all, she had a bad service game. We know that, double faults, but now she's got to get back into it. She has to break back. And I think, as Daniela mentioned, she's going to have to start looking at standing across and to that wide serve on the first court. And if she can pick a couple of those, Sabalenka's favourite serve wide, get on the board early, then she's got a chance.
Down the tee, backhand through the middle of the court. Oh, she goes drop shot, the first we've seen, and it works a treat, and she wins the points.
How about going hard in the middle of the court, maybe?
15 love.
Yeah, that's a good point as well.
I mean, if
that's
you're
a very good point.
Not winning too many rallies off the background, going left and right, just to not give Sabalenka any angle to play with.
Yeah. She's so powerful when she's running, isn't she? Yeah. She's wide.
First serve misses from Zheng, so Sabalenka will step up to the baseline, twiddle the racket in both hands, take that very wide stance, a little wiggle, the bend in the knee. As Zheng reaches up, just pats that in. Wow. It was always going to get the treatment, just sort of popped itself up in the box, and Sabalenka said thank you.
So that kind of shot, the recovery, she's pushed out wide, that's the one, ideally she should try to go hard in the middle. It's so hard to direct the ball when it's coming that fast.
The defence needs a bit of work at the moment.
Remember, she's still young, 21 years of age. Miss serve out wide. The look up, the look down from Zheng Qinwen. Sabalenka's on the baseline, and it's a double fault. And a little opening here for Sabalenka. Already leads by a set and a break.
Well, it's a fortunate start for her in this set, serving a 3 double faults, and that's just put a doubt in her mind with the second serves, and of course it's given confidence to Sabalenka to stand in and really go for it. And previous point, she did that with the second serve. So first serves are needed.
And not got. Second serve, Sabalenka steps in, steps up, twists the racket again and again and again. The ball is tossed up. The looping serve sits up, brought down backhand cross court. Sabalenka comes in a short ball with the backhand down the line. Sabalenka's at the net, she plays the volley. But great work from Zheng Qinwen, dipping the ball down to the feet of Sabalenka, who cannot retrieve the ball, and it's 30 all.
Yeah, that was much better recovery for Zheng, just with that back and go simple back in the middle of the court. Okay, if you're going to hit winner on the next one, but let's see, you're getting closer to win another title here. Let's test the nerves.
30 all, just takes an extra couple of seconds. They have 25 seconds to get the first serve away. The clock is at 4. But then, if you're not happy with the ball toss and you start again, there is no time. Ready with the serve now. Cut back, drops over. Zheng has come in. She goes cross-court side edge of the sideline and she brings up game point.
40-30.
Nice shot there. That was a really awkward second shot for Zheng. Good wide serve. Sabalenka just sort of chopped at that ball and skidded it low and just short. She had to come forward and she got it high enough that she could get a bit of pace and angle.
Game point. Keeps it just the one breaker serve. Serve out wide. Backhand cross court to the backhand. Netted, and the game will continue in its juice.
It's just crazy to look at Zheng's backhand, how identical it is to Lina one. Obviously, she's not used to the pace, but technically, it's copyrights there.
Good backhand a copy.
Just sometimes a little bit too ambitious with that shot, trying to change direction too often. Just stay in the rallies.
Juice, first serve, missed down the tee. Ball girl scurries across, scoops up the loose ball, crouches down beside the net. Sabalenka steps up and in, ready to pounce on anything short in the Australian Open Women's Final. It's another double fault. You hear the collective groan from the crowds, and it's a break point for a double break and a 4-1 lead.
Yeah, you hear the sound from the crowd because they want this match to last longer than this.
Well, it's going to last over the hour mark because we've hit 59 minutes. Break point to the defending champion, yet to drop a set through this tournament. Serve down the tee, clips top of the net, so she will go again. The routine of Zheng, 3 balls, stares at them, discards one, tucks one in the shorts, and then she's ready. All the while, Sabalenka prowling around the opposite end of the court, waiting to attack, waiting to convert this point, and she'll have a second serve to look at. So in comes Sabalenka.
This is going to be soft.
Photographer's lenses are all on Sabalenka. The backhand cross-court is definitely not soft. The forehand from Sabalenka whips it cross-court off the shoelaces. Down the line, mid-court ball from Zheng. Cross-court backhand deep from Sabalenka. Sabalenka with the backhand goes cross-court to the backhand. Middle of the court. Inside in goes Sabalenka into the corner. Squash shot from Zheng down the line. Backhand cross-court from Sabalenka. Backhand cross-court from Zheng. Cross-court backhand deep into the corner. Sabalenka comes forward. She cuts under the ball on the backhand side. She gets the point. She goes behind Zheng. She fist pumps her box.
Wow.
And you would think it is all but done as the defending champion moves to a set and a double break 4-1 lead. And now Russell Fuller, Sabalenka in a very commanding position, as she has been throughout the course of this tournament in her defence.
It might just be a question of thinking what she's going to write on her fitness trainer's head after the match now, because it does look like it's pretty much all over now, doesn't it, with Aryna Sabalenka in control. I think we all felt that this was likely to be potentially quite a one-sided final, just because of the way Sabalenka has been playing and the fact that Zheng is so inexperienced. Yes, she reached the quarterfinals of the US Open, but she's just at the start of what I think, Danny, could be a very successful Grand Slam career. But it's a huge amount to ask her to really challenge a player in this sort of form.
Especially the way Sabalenka has been able to come out tonight. And that last shot, that's the most impressive part about Sabalenka game this time around. She has added some variety. It's very obvious that's what she was working on in the preseason. I'm absolutely loving some slices coming to the net. She improved the volleys, and she's a much better player, more of a full package than 12 months ago.
Yeah, it was a great drop shot off the end of that rally. That was the best rally of the match. Both players did it really well, but Sabalenka's power and then come in and the touch.
So Sabalenka serves. We say thank you to Daniela Hansikova because you're back off TV commitments.
I am, yes, but I don't want to leave. It's been such fun with you guys here. But I know you've got it under control, so I'll leave you to
Thank you for coming. Congratulations on your trophy once again.
Congrats, you too.
Thank you very much. But I'll have the massage later. Forehand from Zheng goes down the line. The backhand cross-court Sabalenka. The backhand cross-court from Zheng. The backhand cross-court from Sabalenka. Trading backhand cross-court. Centre of the court. Inside in goes Zheng. Forehand back up the line, but into the net from Sabalenka.
great play. Well, that's Zheng's best rally of the day as well. She's getting involved in some long rallies, and Sabalenka doesn't like the long rally. She's usually finishing the point off pretty quickly, but she's a very quick athlete, Zheng, and she got a couple of those back pretty easily.
Sabalenka, world number 2. Ranking won't change, but she will creep closer to Iga Świątek with a win. Nets off the back end, didn't move her feet off that return to serve, Pat.
No, she didn't. She's got nothing to lose, really, Zheng. She's going to go for it. Might as well go down swinging. It's a good, solid return. Straight down the middle, as Daniela was suggesting. Just play straight down the middle. It's safe. If you hit it hard enough, it's going to be a hard one to pick up.
Love 30. First serve out wide. Forehand does not find the court because the serve did the damage.
Well, the stat that just popped up on our screen was 74% of the first serves on this side are going out to the forehand. That is, you just might as well move across. But not that she's not getting to them, that she's just over-swinging them, trying to hit it too hard.
Sabalenka serves down the tee and misses, stretching out towards the forehand of Zheng. Zheng back into position, steps a little bit closer to the baseline, on her toes, then the wide stance of hers, the deeper knee bend than Sabalenka. Sabalenka uncoils, tosses up the ball and serves out wide, and the backhand is lofted long, and Sabalenka levels up at 30 all.
Another one of those slow second serves, up high, bounced up. Zheng was there trying to attack it, but she just found the ball a good foot higher than she expected.
Sabalenka, a couple of gold necklaces round her neck, both of tigers. Also has a tattoo of one on her arm. Love 30 to game point. This for 5-1 to put her a game away from successfully defending her Australian Open title. She's been in fearsome form from the off, Sabalenka. Game point, big serve, backhand is blocked back, mid-court ball inside into the corner. Special stuff from Sabalenka. Turned it around from Love 30 down, and she is now a game away from the Australian Open title.
It's been an impressive performance, hasn't it? She has barely put a foot wrong in this match. There's not an awful lot Zheng can do. Obviously, it's just a different level of player up to this stage of the match that Zheng has played. She hasn't played anybody inside the top 50. And all of a sudden, you're coming up against the number 2 player in the world who hits the ball this hard.
Zheng Qinwen serving to stay in the championship. Cross-court return off the forehand, the backhand down the line for Sabalenka, who rushes in it. She plays the half volley. It sits up on the sideline. Backhand down the line from Zheng.
Well, I have no idea what Sabalenka was thinking.
15 love.
She had a forehand just straight down the middle to the forehand and raced into the net, or backhand straight down to the forehand, and then raced the net. Okay. I think she looked up to the box there. She thought, okay, tried something.
Yeah, I think they were all looking down at their feet. It tends to be what they do in boxes if they don't want to make eye contact. It's like they've all suddenly dropped something at the same time. 15 love, this is a second serve, that's a soft serve. The backhand cross-court, the pick-up off the backhand. Sabalenka steps in the forehand, goes inside into the forehand that goes cross-court and just drops in from Zheng.
30 love.
A wobbly old passing shot, but caught just enough of the line for a winner. It's all over the frame of the racket. The racket almost twisted in her hand, but she aimed to the right direction. It sort of floated high and across court beyond Sabalenka's reach.
Misses down the tee, down the centre line. This is 5 Live Tennis coming to you from Melbourne Park, the Australian Open finals weekend. Zheng goes down the tee again, the backhand down the line. It's just too soft. It's there to be put away, the second serve
30-15.
Well, she's done her homework, hasn't she? And that's the way she plays anyway, attacking. But you know, the things that we highlighted coming into this match, Zheng's second serve and the forehand. You know, the forehand's held up pretty well after the midway through the first set. The second serve has fallen away as has the first serve.
Zheng serves down the tee. It's slapped back, it misses the court. There's a little fist pump from the 21-year-old. As she moves to game point, she will want to hold serve and ask the question that Sabalenka will more than likely find the answer to, as we're seeing a picture of the signed bald head of Jason Stacey, the Sabalenka fitness trainer. And she's basically just signed it with her name. So it's an AS and then the actual signature underneath. So no noughts and crosses today on the head. First serve misses. Game point, 1-5 down. Serve out wide. Forehand, hooked cross court. It misses. Sabalenka looks across to her box
it was a let.
to say,
New balls, please.
are you sure? Then she swishes
Sabalenka
away
leads 5 games to
at
2.
mid-air with her left hand and very shortly packed cash. Aryna Sabalenka, the defending champion, will be stepping out onto the Rod Laver Arena to close out this match, to defend her title successfully, and to do it without dropping a set.
Yeah, it's been an impressive tournament. She's still got to get the job done, though. You know, Zheng is fighting hard, and is it new balls? Yes, new balls. That's not what
Zheng wants to be seen.
Is those serves come even harder at her, and I would put any money on the first serve going wide to the forehand. If you got a weak forehand, that doesn't help, and that's the problem with Zheng. I mean, as a coach, you'd be wanting to fix that up. You know, a couple of years ago, fix up this forehand, but it's a clear weakness. It's not a bad shot; it's just a weakness. And Sabalenka will be serving out to that forehand right now. And with the big swings, Zheng would be good to just get it back into play.
Serving for the championship. Serve out wide, forehand netted, 3 points from getting the job done, as Russell said, looking to be the first player to win consecutive Australian Open titles since Victoria Azarenka 2012 and 2013. 6-3, 5-2, 15 love for the world number 2. As she reaches up, tosses up that ball and serves down the tee and misses. Wipes a bead of sweat away from the left brow and then takes the ball from the yellow shorts under the red dress on the left-hand side. Tosses up that ball off the second serve and serves out wide to the backhand that will not find the court. 2 points from the win.
Stupid play from Zheng. She's serving for the match. She's serving for the title. She's going to be a little bit nervous. Make her play. That was a second serve. She went for the outright blistering winner down the line, and the new balls, it flies a bit more, and of course it went out wide.
Led first service.
Well, she likes to go down swinging. We knew that was going to happen. Both players are going to be swinging at everything possible. You live by the sword, you die by the sword, I suppose.
10-9 in the evening, an hour and 10 minutes on the match clock. The serve down the tee, and with that, triple championship point for Aryna Sabalenka. (6-3, 5-2). 40 love, championship point number 1. The serve goes out wide and it misses as the breeze blows and the skirt flies up on the Sabalenka dress. She waits for a couple of seconds and starts the bouncing of the ball for the second serve at championship point. Serve out wide, the backhand is in play. She swings it cross court, forehand and wide.
40-15.
So I'm saying, just serving for the match. You're going to be nervous. Match point. That was the forehand that she'd been putting away all day, all night.
Championship point number 2 at 5-2, 40-15. Sabalenka with the serve into the body. The forehand is hooked back. She goes big forehand, missed. Did not move her feet, Sabalenka.
40-30.
As she pushes the forehand long, and that is the second championship point to come and go.
That was better return there. Zheng just getting it back into the play.
Thank you.
Will it be third time lucky for Aryna Sabalenka? Championship point number 3. Serves out wide, backhand is deep, the forehand is mid-court from Sabalenka, forehand down the line from Zheng, the backhand one-hander, in comes Zheng, she goes drop shot, oh, it was a beauty from Zheng! Cool, calm and collected, and we find ourselves at deuce.
Deuce.
Yeah, well played, very cool under pressure. Having the opportunity to get on top of that point, good forehand down the line. She hasn't made a lot of those today. Sabalenka just getting the ball back from the middle of the court and cleverly decided to hit the drop shot.
Deuce from 40 love, serve out wide. That's the serve she was looking for a point ago.
Sabalenka.
Well, she was running there to the forehand. Isn't that funny? She knew the serve was going to come. She actually made the move to cover the forehand, and the serve wasn't as wide as it is normally, and she almost ran into it.
Championship point number 4. Sabalenka reaches up and she serves down the tee, and she misses, and she rolls her eyes and looks skywards before settling in by bouncing the ball with the frame of the racket, then with the left hand, just a handful of times at championship point number 4. The ball goes out wide, the backhand is in play, the forehand is swung into the net, cross court from Sabalenka, and championship point number 4 comes and goes. She's very close to our commentary box. She rolls her eyes once again, and we return to deuce, and the 5 men that have Aryna spelled out on their white t-shirts currently have their head in their hands.
Thank you.
It's not a lost cause. 6-3, 5-2 up.
Longest game of the match. Sabalenka serves into the body, the forehand is skied, but it creeps into the line. Mid-court ball from Sabalenka, the angle found, the squash shot from Sabalenka will not find the court, and would you believe, from being 40 love up and having a total of 4 championship points, it's now a break point for Zheng.
Yeah, Sabalenka not happy at all. Very tight forehand again, missed the point, takes that ball out of her pocket and slams it into the ground.
Break point Zheng. 5-2. Sabalenka. And then she's saying to her box, well, where was that a second ago when I needed it on championship points?
It's a pretty handy skill to be able to serve a 186 mile an hour serve wide. K an hour.
Deuce. Sabalenka reaches up and serves down the tee and clips the top of the net, and she sort of scowls as she swivels around and scoops up a ball from the back of the court. The first ball is acceptable.
It was almost a perfect serve, wasn't it? Just clipped the top of the net. She's like, oh, that's the serve I wanted. Just half an inch higher.
5-2.
Led.
And the same again.
First service.
Replay.
So she lets that ball go, accepts the first one that's offered to her. She shakes her left wrist just to knock the bracelet down a little bit off her wrist, down her forearm. And now leans forward again. The bouncing starts. She pauses, she waits, she reaches, she tosses up the ball. She goes out wide this time. Forehand back to her feet. She swings the backhand through the middle of the court. The off forehand from Zheng is good. Zheng with a double-handed backhand down the line. Sabalenka swings the forehand cross court and deep. Sabalenka, well, I think you can tell how she feels about that as Zheng goes long, and it is championship point number 5.
Yeah, always going to be a shot Zheng is going to struggle with. Heavy, with lots of topspin power. Just sort of directly onto the forehand that jumps. With her big swinging technique, she's struggled all night with that.
Championship point number 5 for Aryna Sabalenka. Up goes the ball, she serves out wide, the backhand is straight, she will find the court, Sabalenka comes in, she whips it, cross court, the forehand, and she's done it!
Aryna Sabalenka.
Defence complete!
6-3, 6-2.
Aryna Sabalenka, in just over an hour, has successfully defended her Australian Open title, and she has done it without dropping a set. Coming through in the final against Qinwen, 6-3, 6-2.
Well, it's about as impressive as it gets. She came out aggressive. She knew she has the pace that could upset Zheng, who's first time for a Grand Slam final, who of course hadn't seen anything like this. It's hard to, not many people in the whole tour can play like this, but considering she hasn't played a top 50 player, Zheng on her way through, this was always going to be a tough ask initially, and the Sabalenka was faultless, absolutely faultless. And some great serving from Zheng kept her in the first set, but that was almost faultless tennis until the last game. Really, got a bit of nerves, got hold of her. But very, very impressive. You know, she really is the modern day to Serena Williams, isn't she? Just power and strong, fast, and you know, super determined. And she's learning, like Serena had to mix in certain things in her game to make her a better player instead of just blasting away. And Zheng has got her crying, sobbing. It looks like she's sobbing in her towel at the moment, or having a word to herself. It's her face in the towel there for a good minute. But no, not a night that she was hoping for. But I don't think even her team would be totally surprised by the end result, as optimistic as they would have liked to have been.
2 Grand Slam titles from 3 Grand Slam finals now for Aryna Sabalenka. You might remember she reached the final of the US Open last year, losing out to Coco Gauff for the season. She's 11-1 because she made it to the Brisbane final, where she lost to Aryna Rybakina. 14 career titles, and you feel, Russell, that Aryna Sabalenka is really only just getting started.
Yes, she doesn't return to world #1 because she was defending the points and the title she won 12 months ago. But if you look at her form in the Grand Slams, she is going to feel at least the equal of any other player in the world. As a US Open runner-up and now a 2-time Australian Open champion who was also in the semi-finals of both Wimbledon and the French Open. And she looks like she has the potential to win many, many more over the next half a dozen years at least. And I think the rivalry with Iga Swiatek could be a very, very special one in the years ahead. And there are, of course, other players to factor into the equation, such as Coco Gauff, most evidently, but also in time Qinwen, who I think just needs time, doesn't she, Pat? And Mira Andreeva at the age of only 16, who may not need to wait until she's 21 to get to a Grand Slam final.
Yeah, there's young players coming. Yes, I mean, she's got a lot of work to do, but she certainly has all the basis of a very, very good player. Just to fix up a couple of things in her game, which we talked about, and sometimes that takes a little while to do, but she's certainly not afraid of hard work to get that done, which is exactly what you want as a coach. Okay, let's go back to the drawing board. If, and this is an if, they know how to fix it.
And she's still very new to this stage. You have to remember she hadn't played a Grand Slam until 2022. She's 21 years of age, and Pat, here she is in her first Grand Slam final.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of upside to her game, and obviously she's going to be a big star in China. That comes with extra pressure, but it's also, you have the supporters. And notice I was coaching Wang Cheng, the Chinese player who was #1 for quite a while. There's always Chinese supporters turning up. Doesn't matter where you play. There's always somebody cheering away in some of the smaller tournaments in the first round and on a back court somewhere.
Did your player talk about feeling the pressure to repay everyone that had helped her get there, and also the pressure of just generally the nation wanting the next Li Na and wanting them to succeed?
Yeah, no, she didn't suffer from that. And what the Tennis Association will support young players. As soon as you make it on the circuit, that's it. They move on to the next player, and they give you very little support. You know, and so it's all about making your own financial decisions, making your own money, and the Chinese Tennis Association are not helping with that. Basically, you're on your own, and it's a very cutthroat type of business in China. And a lot of the women are brought into tennis as girls because they can make money. This is the number one sport for women's sport for prize money. They see that, as have the Belarusians and the Russians, and over the years, they say, we can have great successful careers out of this. And so there is so many players, young girls out there playing, and it's cutthroat. It's really cutthroat. So they're pushing each other on and to be successful. And sometimes you need that as an association or a country, a nation, to have a few, 3 or 4 people continuing to push each other.
You described Aryna Sabalenka as the modern-day Serena Williams there, Pat, and an interesting stat from our friends at Opta was that Sabalenka did not drop serve in the entire championships. First player to do that at the Australian Open and win the title since Serena Williams did in 2007. I mean, I assume you don't think she's going to win as many slams as Serena?
I wouldn't think so, but who knows? We said that about Rafa and Federer, and then Djokovic and Rafa and Federer. So we said that about Federer and Sampras. He's not going to win as many as Sampras, so you just never know. But she is full of confidence that she's hitting the ball great, and as Daniela Hunter-Kovas mentioned, she's adding elements to her game. She's got a bit of touch. She's using certain shots more wisely. Doesn't need to go for big shots when it's not necessary.
Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge...
This is Todd Woodbridge, the Master of Ceremonies, who's going to be conducting affairs in this presentation ceremony for the Australian Open Women's Singles Final.
To Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here with us this evening. And on behalf of Tennis Australia, I'd like to welcome the Governor-General, His Excellency, the Honourable David Hurley, the Victorian Premier, the Honourable Jacinta Allen, the Deputy Prime Minister, the Honourable Richard Marles, and Victorian Minister for Tourism, Sport and Major Events, Steve Demopoulos, and all other dignitaries and government representatives that are here with us tonight. Joining us on court for the presentation is the Chair of Tennis Australia, Jane Herdlicker, Mr. Ling Feng, the General Manager of Luzhu Lezhao, Tournament Director, the Tournament Director Craig Tiley, Tournament Referee Wayne McEwen, and to present our trophy tonight, celebrating her 50th anniversary of her first Australian Open win, a 7-time Grand Slam singles champion, Yvonne Goolagong-Cawley.
1974, 1975, 1976 and 1977 she won the title here in Melbourne.
Well, the Daphne Akhurst Memorial Cup, which is awarded to our champion tonight, has been travelling around Victoria over several weeks with our AO on the road team and is now safely back here on Rod Laver Arena.
And it's been brought into the arena now and placed on the blue AO stage with the letters AO.
She certainly
providing
is
the backdrop.
A very fine piece of silverware. It's Daphne, everybody. I'd like now, though, to invite the Chair of Tennis Australia, Jane Herdlicker, to say a few words.
What a beautiful night for tennis. Sport plays a really important role in uniting community, and that's ever important in an uncertain world. And we're so proud to announce that we've had over 1 million people from all parts of the community come and join us at the Australian Open to enjoy one of the world's best entertainment and sporting experiences. And we've also had over 1 billion people around the world enjoying the spectacular tennis over the course of the last 3 weeks. And we're really proud of the uniting effect sport brings to community. We're also really proud of our 12,000 strong people across this site in all manner of jobs, from ball kids to umpires to security teams to all the guest services people, who work really hard to ensure that everybody that comes to the Australian Open enjoys a really amazing experience and leaves with a huge smile on their faces. And we're also really proud of our sponsors. We have amazing partnerships, from Rolex to the Victorian government to Kia, Luzhou, and Emirates. We've got amazing partnerships that run deep, and they enable us to do all the things that we do here, and we're very grateful for their support. Now, tonight was a night for our reigning champion, and she demonstrated all that she's made of, and we're really proud of her performance tonight, and we're very proud to have a first-time finalist in Qinwen demonstrating to us the power of her game, and she is now firmly on the world stage. So congratulations to both of our contestants tonight.
This is 5 Live, BBC Sounds presentation ceremony after Aryna Sabalenka won the Australian Open title for the second year in a row.
These women are amongst the most extraordinary athletes in the world. They're inspiring women to pick up rackets, girls to pick up rackets all over the world, and we're really grateful for the amazing experience that they've had in Australia the last month. Each of them has done an extraordinary job, and Aryna, as a second-time Grand Slam champion at the Australian Open, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Jane. We now call upon the chair umpire for the women's singles final, Jaume Kempestol from Spain. I'll ask him to come forward to receive a gift for the part that he's played in tonight's final.
As the umpire gets his silver plate to commemorate his role in the final, I can tell you that we'll be joining Jonathan Agnew before too long to reflect on the third day of the Hyderabad test between England and India. A century for Ollie Pope, I can tell you. England currently leading by 56 runs with 5 second innings wickets in hand.
Powerful brand of tennis. She's brought a whole new fan base to our sport. Her rise to stardom continues, and next week she'll move into the top 10 on the WTA rankings for the very first time in her career. Please welcome Zheng Qinwen to accept her finalist trophy.
Only 21 years of age, Li Na played in her first Grand Slam singles final at the age of 28 and went on to win 2 Grand Slam titles. Not the trophy she was expecting or hoping for, but it's a start.
First of all, I want to say congrats to Aryna to have such a wonderful match here, and it's my first final, and I'm feeling a little bit pity, but that's how it is. It's experience for me, and in the same time, I want to say thanks for all the fans who come here to watch me, and I feel right now very complicated because I feel that I could do it better, but I didn't do in this match. But anyway, I want to say thanks to my team to help me arrive here. And And also, I really enjoyed to play in this Australia Open. That was amazing memory for me. I'm sure there's going to be more and better in the future. And thanks for all the sponsors, and thanks again to all of you guys. 谢谢你们. Thank you. 谢谢.
Well, what a year it's been since capturing her first Grand Slam title here on Rod Laver Arena. Her consistency has been exceptional, so much so that she reached the pinnacle of our game in September of last year by becoming the world #1. But there couldn't be a more perfect way to kick off a new year than by going back-to-back in Melbourne. Please welcome the 2024 Australian Open Women's Singles Champion, Aryna Sabalenka.
2 years in Melbourne, she's played 29 sets. She's won 28 of them. And twice in a row, she's able to get her hands on the Daphne Ackhurst Memorial Cup, which is about to be presented to her by the 4-time champion, Yvonne Goolagong-Cawley. Sabalenka clutches the trophy one more time. No extravagant trophy lift as she walks up to the microphones and addresses us as the champion again.
Thank you, Ewan, for being such an inspiration for all of us and receiving this beautiful trophy from you. It's a pleasure for me. Thank you so much for everything. Secondly, I want to congratulate Qinwen on an incredible couple of weeks here in Australia. I know this feeling, it's really tough to lose in the finals, but you're such an incredible player and such a young girl, and you're gonna be in many more finals, and you're gonna get it. And just congrats to you. I want to say congrats to you and your team on an amazing job you guys done. No, it's not gonna be crying. Okay. Thank you for everyone who made this tournament happen. Tennis Australia, director of the tournament, everyone who was helping me during these 2 weeks. It's been an amazing couple of weeks, and I couldn't imagine myself lifting this trophy one more time. And it's unbelievable feeling right now, and I'm really speechless. And as always, my speech going to be weird. So. It's not my superpower, but I'll try my best. Team, wow. You see, guys, I put a little bit of pressure on them after the Brisbane final. And we did a little bit better in this one. But yeah, thank you so much for being by my side no matter what. I think I have everything. I mean, I forgot what I wanted to say, but without you, I wouldn't be able to to achieve so much in this sport. Thank you so much for everything you're doing for me. I'll just keep repeating the same that I'm saying on each speech, so thank you so much for everything you've done for me. I mean, without me, you wouldn't be that good as well, you know? Like, let's accept that fact. And actually, I never speak about my family on the winning speeches before, but I actually have to say thank you so much for everything they've done to me. Should I keep speaking English because they're not gonna understand me? But I hope that they'll translate. So I love you so much, and you're my biggest motivation, and everything I'm doing for you. So I'm sending love, and I really miss you so much. Thank you, guys. And did they speak about incredible crowd here? No, I think I forgot. But actually, guys, thank you so much for all the support during these 2 weeks. I really enjoy playing in front of you. This is what makes this place special. And that's... Sorry, say it again. So I love you so much, and I can't wait to come back, and hopefully...
She mimics lifting the trophy again in 12 months' time. Aryna Sabalenka, a back-to-back champion in Melbourne.
Well played. Well, that concludes our official presentation. There'll be a photo opportunity, and then Aryna will be completing a lap of honour with the trophy, the Daphne Ackhurst Memorial Cup. Would you please give these two wonderful women a final round of applause as we wrap up the women's singles tournament for the 2024 Australian Open.
Congratulations to Aryna Sabalenka and to Zheng in her first Grand Slam final at the age of just 21. And there is a long, what time is it? It's 9:20 here in Melbourne. There is a long night ahead for Aryna Sabalenka. She'll be on court for a while, and then, Pat, the commitments that she will have, and she won't mind doing them, she's the champion, but she has a lot to do as the champion.
Yeah, of course, everyone wants to talk to her, everyone wants to take a photo, and yeah, she'll be tired by the end of the day, but you know, I don't think she's that match didn't take too much out of her, but you know, that is a very impressive performance, and you know, obviously people want to know, you know, how did you do it? We know how good she is, how well she hits the ball, but that is an exceptional tournament. I mean, by anybody's standards, there's, you know, and she's played some tough players along the way, and she's dealt with them, you know, easily. So, you know, hats off to her. She deserves everything that she gets, all the accolades, and yeah, when you're holding the trophy, you don't mind. Take as long as you like. I'll just keep holding it. As her name's already been etched on there, and embarrassingly, every other person's nationality has been stuck on there, but hers hasn't been for 2 years. That's an absolute disgrace, in my opinion. But
it won't count as a win for Belarus in 50 years' time if we talk about Belarusian Australian Open champions, because of that country's role in the invasion of Ukraine. Victoria Azarenka will be remembered.
They're not representing that
No, I know you disagree with it.
They are individuals from that country, and we've got to get through this. If it's not like putting it on the Davis Cup where you are representing her Olympic gold medal, she just happens to be born there. I mean, come on, what's going to happen next? They're going to start removing Chinese players if some war comes on. It's just got the Belarusian and Russian bashing has gone too far in a sport that we are all inclusive in.
Yeah,
it's gone way too far. I was just shocked when I didn't see her nationality put next to the last year and this year.
And that's not going to change, I don't think, at least not in the foreseeable future. And the point I was making is that when you look back in years to come, there will only be one recent Belarusian champion of the Australian Open in the record books, because she is considered here to be a neutral athlete for the reasons that we have discussed before.
So Azarenka being that?
Azarenka being the only Belarusian champion of the Australian Open ever.
But for Aryna Sabalenka, her name stays on that trophy. It might be on that trophy again in the future. We saw last year when it went on their Pat for the first time. Some players take a dip. Some people can't cope with being a champion. She went on to reach 6 finals. She picked up 3 titles. She cemented her place at the top of the game. She got to the semi-finals of Wimbledon and Roland Garros, and then to the final of US Open.
Yeah, I mean, his semi-finals have been, you know, all over the place, and we wondered, you know, it's great effort for her to go back and say, you know what's going on with my game? I go too hard at the ball, and when things don't go right, they go horribly wrong. And so, you know, she's obviously continued to improve to hit the ball hard, and she's serving even better than ever. But you know, shot selections are much better, and you know, she's unstoppable when she goes like that. A bit like Serena, you know, just unstoppable. And she started hitting the ball, serving big and hitting winners from all sorts of positions on the court.
Yeah, she's pretty frightening when she's in full flight. She's not frightening now. She's got a big smile on her face. She's kissing Daphne, the Daphne Ackhurst Memorial Cup, to give it its full name. We normally have the best seat in the house in our commentary box. It's currently the worst, because all we can see is the bottoms of a lot of photographers. And
their numbers.
And their numbers. So we can see number 52, number 17. It's like bingo. We can sort of play photographer bingo here. And the other side, you'll find Aryna Sabalenka standing behind the Melbourne sign. And they're all directing her. Look up, look down, look left, look right, look at me, look at someone else, kiss it, wave it above your head. All these directions been given to Aryna Sabalenka. And you know what? She will happily do whatever they ask, because she is the Australian Open champion for a second consecutive